My neighbor Frank spent 40 years saving for retirement. And then I watched him spend 15 years afraid to touch it. In 2010, he turned down the Alaska trip he had wanted his whole life. Too expensive, he said. He was 68. By 82, Frank had more money in the bank than the day he retired. And what he told me on his porch one summer evening changed how I think about every dollar I own. I'll share it at the end, because you need the other regrets first. These are the 7 money regrets I hear over and over from people in their 70s and 80s, not guesses. Every one of them is backed by real numbers, and I'll show you those numbers as we go. If you're within 10 years of retirement, in either direction, this list is your map. Let's count them down. Regret number 7, waiting for a perfect number while the good years slip past. Here's the uncomfortable data. Americans plan to retire around 66. The average person actually retires at 62. Health problems, layoffs, a spouse who needs care. The job usually ends before the spreadsheet says it should. And half of us misjudge our own life expectancy by 5 years or more. Now, add the harder number. Your healthy years, the ones with hiking boots and passports, are a smaller budget than your total years. The retirees I talk to don't regret the money they didn't earn in one more year of work. They regret the summers. The lesson is not retire tomorrow. The lesson is make a plan that still works if work ends 4 years early. Because for half of us, it does. Regret number 6, helping the kids so much that the parents became the emergency. As of 2025, half of American parents send money to their adult children regularly. The average is $1,474 a month. And here's the line that should stop you cold. Working parents give their grown kids more than twice what they put into their own retirement. Nobody regrets helping a child through a real crisis. The regret is the autopilot. The phone plan that never ends. The rent that quietly became a pension for someone who is 34. Retirees in their 70s keep saying the same sentence. I can't help anyone if I run out myself. There is no loan for retirement. Your kids have 40 years to recover. You have 0. Regret number 5, ignoring the one tax window that never reopens. Between the day you stop working and the day required withdrawals begin, many retirees pass through their lowest tax years and never use them. And there's a crueler version almost nobody sees coming. It's called the widow's penalty. When one spouse dies, the survivor keeps most of the income, but now files single. As of 2026, the 12% bracket ends near $97,000 for a couple. For a single filer, it ends near $48,000. Same house, same savings, nearly double the tax squeeze, arriving in the middle of grief. Retirees who discovered this at 75 wish someone had said one word to them at 63. Plan. This is exactly the conversation to have early with a licensed tax professional. Regret number 4, treating long-term care like a lottery you probably won't win. The government's own numbers say someone turning 65 today has about a 70% chance of needing long-term care. 70%. Now the price tag. The median private nursing room runs about $11,000 a month. That's over $130,000 a year. And here is the misconception that wrecks families. Medicare does not pay for ongoing care. After a hospital stay, it covers up to 100 days of skilled nursing. Then you're on your own. The retirees who regret this didn't fail to buy some product. They failed to have a conversation. Who cares for whom? In which house? With what money? Ask it at 65, and it's planning. Ask it at 85, and it's a crisis. Regret number 3, the one that ends with an empty account and a silent Thanksgiving. Fraud. In 2024, Americans over 60 reported nearly $5 billion stolen. The average victim lost $33,000. Tech support calls, romance scams, fake investments. And those are only the people who admitted it. Most never report it, out of shame. Understand this. The people who fall for these are not foolish. The scripts are engineered for smart, trusting, busy people. And survivors describe a regret worse than the money. They kept it secret until it was too late to stop. So make a family rule today. No money ever moves because of a phone call. Hang up, look up the real number yourself. Call back. That one habit defeats almost every scam ever written. Regret number 2, signing up for Social Security the way you'd order coffee. Researchers followed 20,000 retirees and checked whether each one had claimed at their best possible age. 4% had. 4. The average household left about $111,000 on the table. Not from bad luck, from claiming on autopilot at 62, or waiting past the point that made sense for them. Because this cuts both ways. For some people, 62 is genuinely right. Poor health, a pension bridge, a spousal strategy. For most, every year of waiting buys a bigger check for life. The regret is not any specific age. The regret is never doing the arithmetic at all. One afternoon with your own numbers before you file. The same researchers found optimal claiming could cut elderly poverty in half. That is how big this one decision is. And regret number 1, the one Frank carried, being too afraid to spend it. Listen to this. Nearly 2 decades into retirement, the average retiree still had 80% of their savings. 1 in 3 reach their 80s without touching the principal at all. We spend 40 years learning to save, and nobody teaches us to stop. Planners talk about the go-go years, then the slow-go years, then the no-go years. The money you don't spend at 68 doesn't wait for you. It just changes jobs. It becomes nursing money. Which brings me back to Frank's porch. I finally asked him why he never took the Alaska trip. He looked at the lake for a long time. Then he said, I wasn't saving that money anymore. I was afraid of it. Frank didn't need a bigger nest egg. He needed permission to live on what he'd built. If your plan says you can afford the trip, take the trip. So do the arithmetic. Have the conversations early. And spend some of it while your knees still work. That's the map. Which of these 7 have you seen up close? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. And remember, this is education, not financial advice. Your situation deserves a licensed professional. Next time, the things retirees should never tell anyone about their money. You'll want that one. I'm Walt. Walk the road while you can.